I guess that's the reason why I left France, because I couldn't find any role models or people like me. I just felt I need to, yeah, reshape the way I think and embracing who I am by finding similar people, and that's the only way is to go outside of France.
Welcome to Proudly Asian, a podcast series that tells bold and proud stories of Asians by Asians. My name is Isabel, your podcast host, and I'm here to find stories that challenge biases we face every day. There's never just one way to look at Asians. This podcast will take you through a deep dive into the life stories, struggles, and triumphs of young Asians around the world. On today's episode, we have Anisha Thai, a Vietnamese-Comorian artist born and raised in Paris. Trained as a civil engineer, Anisha is also a dancer, choreographer, and content creator who teaches Afro dance and has been featured in international and Chinese TV shows. She joins us to talk about her experience growing up in France as an Asian African and navigating her interracial identity in Europe and Asia.
Welcome back to Proudly Asian. Well, for those who are watching on YouTube, if you think that I look weird by wearing a mask or if I sound like I have a bit of a frog in my throat, it's because I've come down with a cold at the time of recording. So please pay all your attention to our amazing guest, especially for this episode, Anisha, who happens to be in our studio in Hong Kong. Welcome to Proudly Asia.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Okay, I'm so excited to meet you, Anisha, because you're this wonderful dancer, artist, content creator, influencer, currently based in Hong Kong. I've seen you perform at some of the events. You're amazing. I've been dying to meet you. I'm so glad that you're finally here. But before we get started, for our listeners to get to know more about you, why don't we start with the basics? Tell us about your background. Who are you? What are you? And where did you grow up? This might be the easier part.
Yeah, okay. Who am I? So, hi everybody. My name is Anisha Thai. Currently choreographer, dancer, artist, entrepreneur, social media content creator, everything.
The list is growing.
Right? So, I'm currently based in Hong Kong, as you mentioned. Who am I? I used to be a civil engineer a few years ago, 4 years ago, and I transitioned. Very blessed to be able to do that. I was born and raised in Paris. So yeah, I do have the French passports. But yeah, that's it.
How many languages do you speak?
That's one of the questions that I get the most. So I'm very sad to announce you that I only speak 2.5 languages, which is okay actually. But French is my native language, so I'm supposed to be good at it. Even sometimes I do a lot of grammatical mistakes. But and English, I learned it when I grew up, and I learned Mandarin also when I was younger, when I was 14, and I lived in
Wow.
China a little bit. So yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Usually, if you start making a lot of grammatical mistakes, that's when you're a native because you never really learn how to
That's very
properly
true.
structure the
We don't
language,
think,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think usually the people who do correct are those who are still learning the language a little bit.
The proper learners.
Yes. So you mentioned you grew up in Paris. Could you tell us everything about your childhood? What was breakfast like for you? What kind of food did you have? Do you have any favorite dishes? Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get into that, but let's start with food.
Let's start with food. Everybody loves food, so that's the perfect question. So basically, my mom is Comorian from Comoros Islands, and my dad is Vietnamese from Ho Chi Minh. So it was a bit of a mix of everything, I would say. We usually get for dinner French food because my mom works as she makes the food for the kids in the school, so that's what she do for a living. But also when there's festivities like celebration parties, anniversaries, she also cooks her own food, Comorian food, which is a mix of Indian, African. So we have samosas, we have cocoa, chicken, rice, which I love so much. Um, and my dad cooks the nams, the spring rolls also. So it's really a big mix of everything. But yeah,
And fundamentally, what was your go-to breakfast dish?
pain au chocolat.
Oh,
No,
nice.
honestly, it was the only reason why I would wake up early in the morning. I just thought of
To
the cake
stop by the
shop.
bakery.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, there's no reason for me to wake up, and then like, I was so grumpy in the morning. So my dad was like, "Okay, I'll take you to the boulangerie, and I will give you a pain au chocolat." And I
Oh,
was like, "Okay, I'm up."
that's a great
So
reason to wake
every
up.
day, every single day, he bought me a pain au chocolat. So and I still
Amazing.
miss it up to now. So
Have you found a good one in Hong Kong yet?
well, I'm still searching, guys. If you have any recommendation, please let me know.
Yes, that's one of my favorite baked items as well. And I mean, that was food, but how was school for you? Like, were
Mm.
you always sort of like the only one that looked like the way you do? Like, did kids have questions for
Yeah,
you
a
at
lot.
school?
Not questions, but I would say judgments. No, because like I think so when I was in, especially in kindergarten, from like 5 to 10, I think it's not kindergarten.
Mm. Was it like,
It's kindergarten. No, it's not primary. Sorry, woo, it's primary school. So in primary school, I guess the kids are very curious. They don't really know, and there was not that many Afro-Asian kids like me. So the closest that I found was whites and black mixed
Mhm.
people, mixed kids. So I was friends with them or Asian kids also, but I couldn't find like somebody like me. So for me, I got questions such as but are you really Asian or are you really African? Like why your face look like this? Why you have like Asian eyes with the afro, like they didn't really understand like why I had those features combined together. So, and I didn't know how to answer them actually, because it's just the way I am, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess it was hard for me to navigate through that dynamic where I just don't know who I can relate to, you know. So I was a bit lost, but as I said, I make friends that are either black or Asian. So that was the way for me to blend in a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, like, at least you still found like 50% of what you could relate to through some other
Ah, yeah. I
classmates.
made my own cocktail recipe. So I'm going to take 50% of my friends that are black, 50% that are Asian. And then I have
Now it's
my.
complete.
Exactly. I'm complete now. Really.
I mean, like, growing up, since like you were born and raised in Paris, like, did you see yourself as European, Asian? Like, how aware were you when it comes to like the mix of identities that
Oh, that's
is
very
you?
interesting. Because we were taught so many times that we were French, I guess I knew that I was French in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the colors that you have, the ethnicity, like French people, they usually tend to tell you, "Oh, you're French. Be proud to be French." You know, you're speaking the language. They're very proud of their language, also. They're very proud of their culture, everything. So you kind of like understand that you are French. I am French, 100%. Um, Asian and African, it was a bit tricky to me because I felt like growing up that I wanted to hide those two sides of me somehow. For example, my parents decided not to teach me their languages. So for me, I took it as okay, so I don't need to
Like
mm,
embrace or
embrace it. Yeah, I have to blend in. I have to prove that I'm French somehow, but knowing French first, mastering it, and my other languages is not really important because it's not really useful, as they said, my parents. So I was like, okay, my two other identities is maybe not that important. But then no, growing up after, I try to deconstruct and unlearn what I learned because at the end of the day, I felt a bit lost with my identity. I felt like I didn't really know who I was. For sure, I'm French, but then, for example, when I listen to the music and when I groove to the music, there's something that is coming from my deep roots in Africa, and I believe like it's almost natural. It's almost like something that my ancestors give me. I don't know, but even my mom, she's not a professional dancer, but she dances so well. So I'm like, there must be something, you know. Um, so I try to, yeah, told myself, okay, you don't know your languages, but it's okay. You're gonna make your own research. You're gonna move to Africa. I tried to go to Comoros, but then I ended up in South Africa. And then I tried to go to Vietnam, but ended up in Hong Kong. That's the closest that I could do.
Well, that's close enough.
That's
It's
close
like
enough,
less
right?
than 2 hours
I
away.
tried, I tried, right? So that for me, that was the way for me to unlearn what I learned when I was in France. Yeah, yeah.
You saw yourself as more French. Like, has there been anyone who would kind of like tell, hey, you're not really French, or you're not really Asian, you're not like African? Have people
Yeah.
told you that?
Back in France, what was very difficult is that it's weird to say that, but it was kind of like not really cool to be African or Asian back in the days, which is, it sounds so horrible to say that, but when you're a kid, you don't really think and you just want to, be part of the what is cool or whatever. So internally, I did try to show that I'm French. But are there any kids that told me? I think from both communities, like the Vietnamese community, I guess some kids were a bit curious about the fact that I don't look like them. So they were questioning me maybe, oh, are you Vietnamese? From the African sides, because of my eyes, they also questioned me and they were like, are you sure you you African? So I guess from each community, French, African, Asian, I always got questions. So that's why it made even more, it was complicated for me,
That
to
is
be
very
honest.
confusing for a kid because like
Because you don't know where you belong, actually. You don't tick any of the
exactly.
boxes fully. So you ask yourself, okay, so what am I?
Yeah, it's like wherever you go, people are telling you you're not one of us.
Yeah, kind of by the questions.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but have you ever met someone who was exactly in the same situation as you were in
hmm,
France?
I haven't.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
But it was when I started moving and like traveling around that I started meeting people like
Yeah.
Malaysians and Afro-Asians. So that really helped me a lot. But I guess that's the reason why I left France, because I couldn't find any role models or people like me. I just felt I need to, yeah, reshape the way I think and embracing who I am by finding similar people, and that's the only way is to go outside of France, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Mm-hmm.
I see the world. That's why. Yeah.
That is also the reason why we do what we do on Proudly Asian,
Yeah.
which is helping people to make them feel less lonely. Like just when
Thank
you
you.
think you're alone, you're actually not alone.
You're
Like
not
because
alone.
someone on the other side of the world like is going through something exactly like you are, or like has been through something like that. So
Instagram really helped me so much. You
yeah.
have no idea, because I started randomly texting people. Ryan, my other friend, David. I started texting so many random Blasian
So you're
kids. Yeah, and the
Blasian.
first thing that I tell them is, "Hey, are you Blasian?" And I say, "Yeah, and you?" Yeah, I am too. And then immediately there's a connection, because I felt they were also lonely when they were kids. So social media really help us to connect and grow that community, and help other Malaysian kids to feel like, oh, you are normal, you are who you are, you are special, you're unique, and that's beautiful. You're beautiful, simply. You don't need any. Yeah, you don't need all the comments saying that, oh, you're part of us. No, you know that you're part of the Asian community, you're part of the African community, you're part of the whatever country you are.
Yeah.
This is for a fact. So be proud of
Yeah.
who you are.
And I mean, just like you mentioned, Ryan Holmes, who was on our show a while ago. Like, I love how he came up with, like his own take of his identity, which is like he's 100% of
Yes,
everything.
I love saying that too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like thank you for saying that, because like a lot of us, like maybe I'm not Blasian, but then like we all go through a little bit of like identity crisis
Yeah.
when it comes to when it comes to the third culture experience as well. Sorry about my voice, everyone. So
It sounds cool.
this is a this is a very special episode. Like my voice only sounds like this once, like, and it's
Enjoy
with
this episode,
Anisha.
guys.
So
Enjoy.
it's my cue to get back to Anisha. Like enough talking on my end. So I mean, you did mention a little bit about like not being owned by either of the cultural communities. There were questions growing up, but was there ever any like memories in terms of like racism when you were growing up in Paris?
Oh, racism. Hmm. Um, I guess there's a few, maybe micro racism, microaggressions. You know those comments when they say, "Oh, you Asian, so yeah, of course you must be good at. That's why you're good at math." No, I'm good at math because I work my ass off. That's it. Period. uh, or stuff like that, or maybe because I'm associated with the African community, like they have some prejudice and cliches about us, such as, "Oh, we commit, or we loud, we violent, we beat each other," or stuff like that. So random. I mean, so crazy. But um, yeah, I guess it's just the typical classical cliches that I got when I was young.
Mm-hmm. And from some
Yeah,
of my European friends, they also mentioned about how, I mean, it's kind of sad to say that, but then like it actually is worse being African than being Asians in Europe, right? Like, because I mean, this is just coming from some of my European friends who are in Scandinavia.
yeah.
They said there was actually more prejudice directed against like people of African descent. But then was that your experience?
Yeah. No, it was. I guess it was very painful for my mom to for example, when she was like picking me up from school, she always get the comments, "Oh, are you the nanny? Are you the helper? Are you the?" And it was very, very, very painful for her, I think. And also, she wasn't really accepted by my dad's side family. So, because again, they believe that marrying an Asian or a Vietnamese would be the best scenario for him. But I'm glad that he was courageous enough to find a beautiful lady
Good
in the
on your
islands.
dad.
Yes, dad.
Yes, shout out to the
Go, go, go.
dad.
No, I guess yeah. For me, it was painful to see my mom suffering like that. I think it affected me also in a way where and she started developing that internal racism against herself and the people of black descents, I mean African descents, because she was telling me stuff like, "Oh, do not marry a black person, do not," so to me that internal racism really showed me how yeah painful it was for her. And I started like also deconstructing this idea of no, I need to learn, I need to love my own people, and yes, we are associated with a lot of cliche, but we need to show the bright side of that community, which is the cultural side of it, the music, um, our foods,
Mhm.
the fact that there's so many brilliant, intelligent, academic people that are from Africa that are changing the world. So it was really a big journey for me to learn all that, and that's why I chose to go to South Africa. I really wanted to be there and see what's happening in the motherland, and yeah, meet other talented people to really change the way I saw Africa.
Mhm.
Because I realized that I saw Africa the way
Like the French
The
did.
French way, which
Yeah.
is horrible because I'm African myself, and how can I see it this way? Like it was a bit bipolar, kind of. um,
But at
but
least you
yeah,
went on that journey. Like
yeah,
you
I
had
had
that
to.
awareness of like look, this is the French way of seeing things, but what about like the other side of the equation? Like what is that like? So that kind of led you to the journey of going to South Africa.
Yeah,
And you eventually moved to Asia as well.
yeah,
Because you moved to Hong Kong in 2016. So
yay!
I mean, why Hong Kong specifically?
Initially, I wanted to go to Vietnam. No, but honestly, Hong Kong was on my bucket list. I was like, I need to live in one of those five cities, either Paris, London, New York, Shanghai, or Hong Kong. So it was one of those five. And it ended up being Hong Kong. So I'm very
Mm.
happy. Why Hong Kong? So I studied civil engineering. And I was always attracted by those high rise buildings, the architecture, because Paris is very flat. And I just love having an open view on everything because you feel like on top of the world and you're like, oh my God, anything is possible. I have no limitation. I can do anything. That's the type of feeling that I have whenever I'm like high up. That's why I live on the last floor of my building, like 20th floor,
Nice.
to have a nice view and a nice feeling when I wake up. But yes, I was always attracted by that. And also, I think the energy that is here is incredible.
It never sleeps.
You never sleeps. And again, it makes you feel like you can do anything. Like when I arrived here, I was like, oh, things go so fast here. I can do this and this and that. Within one day, you can do 10,000 things.
Yes. Yes.
Can you believe that?
It's true. She's not even exaggerating.
Really. Shopping in the morning, hike in the afternoon, beach in the
Yeah.
middle, and then brunch, and then free flow, and then junk in the afternoon if you want. It's really crazy. It
That's
never
the Hong
stops.
Kong life.
I feel so alive here. Really, really. So when I arrived here, I was like, oh, I found it. I found my city. The same way you find your partner, like, oh, I found the right person. I found my right city. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, that's really the feeling, and it has been like that for 7 years, 8 years. So I'm so glad. I feel like this city is really contributing in my well-being really a lot.
But like when you first moved to Hong Kong, obviously with the impression of like skyscrapers,
Yeah.
lots of energy, was there ever any like culture shock for you also?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was a few. uh, no, for me, the good cultural shock was, I guess, the respect, the safety. Like how, on the streets, you don't have that many. I mean, you don't have people that harass you because of you wearing a
God.
skirt or
That's the
something.
culture shock for you. That's crazy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm from Paris. Paris is dodgy, is ghetto sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, like back in the UK, like people yell random stuff on the street as well. And here in Hong Kong, you don't hear any of that.
And the worst thing is that you normalize it back in Europe. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
it's like
that's
you're
how it's
used to
supposed to
it,
be.
yeah.
No, it's not. Like we're not supposed to get all these. Yeah,
It's like that
harassments.
freedom of being able to walk on the streets at 3 a.m. in the morning with no one
Exactly.
harassing you.
As a woman, it makes such a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you feel safe and free, and you feel like, oh, I can do whatever I want in this city. So that's one of the
It's
cultural differences.
amazing. I've never run home from the bus stop like ever since.
No, seriously. And then, what else? Cultural shock. I guess the taxi drivers here are
Oh God,
very
they are
special.
so unhinged. It's one of the experiences that should be on your bucket list.
I think so. I've never experienced that before. But what I like about it is that people are direct, straightforward.
Mhm.
You will know when they don't like you, and you will not know if they like you, but it's okay. At least
They can like you, but they will still swear at you.
they will still be mad at you 100%. But I like that. I prefer that over like people who pretend or put a mask on and you don't know what's
True.
going on, what is the dynamics, if they like you or not. So I like this side. The efficiency.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but Paris, France has no efficiency in anything.
I heard.
But it is the truth. Admin stuff, do not go to France for that. Do not. You have to wait 1 month or 46
Oh,
business days,
dear.
whatever. We're here, you open a company within like 2 days. How is that possible? I was shocked. I was really shocked. I was like, what? This city is like making me save my time. How is that possible? Right? So yeah, the efficiency, because before I was not really efficient also in my work, but now I became I'm a monster now.
You've
like,
been groomed by Hong Kong.
exactly. I'm trained now. I know how it works. Like I know what efficiency means, So I'm so glad. I'm so happy. Yeah.
When you go back to Paris, do you ever find yourself like walking a lot faster than the Parisians, doing things a lot like quicker?
I get a bit frustrated sometimes to see how slow things are. So I get mad. I'm like, it's not like Hong Kong, But it is what it is, I accept that. But no, I guess you get to a certain standard once you live after a few years in Hong Kong, because you get used to
It grows on you, the
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
you get used to
side.
the speeds, you need
Yeah.
to get things done.
This is why it's so hard to leave Hong Kong for everyone. Yeah. But, like going back to your career a little bit, obviously you mentioned you were trained as a civil
yeah.
engineer. It's quite different to what you are currently doing.
Yeah.
As an artist, as an entrepreneur, content creator, a dancer yourself. So, how do you transition from that kind of like more normal career path to
Yeah.
this creative career path?
First of all, I think I was very, very lucky. There was a good timing in my journey, because I've been talking to a lot of dancers, and I realized that it takes time. Like some of them, they need like 10 years to get to a point where they can make a living out of their art. For me, it was really unexpected. No, I have to be honest with you. I'm very rational and logical, so I did have a plan of transitioning, but I didn't think it would happen that fast, to be honest. So I think it's about observing your surroundings, your environment, and seizing the opportunity when it presents to you at the right time. So I was still a civil engineer, and then there was that TVB artist called Grace Wong that came to me and say, "Hey, I love your videos of you dancing afro on the streets. Let's get it on stage on TVB stage." I was like, "What? Do you think they would accept that? Like African dance on TVB stage? What?" And she said, "Yeah, trust me, do it, do it. Like it would be amazing." Because she's from New York, so she's used to all the different cultural um, arts there. And then I told her, "No, but come on, I'm a civil engineer. Like I just want to be like a top director in my company and have a good life and everything." And she said, "Trust me." So I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And then I participated. It was horrible because we slept like at 4 a.m. every day. And then at 7 a.m. I had to be at work and do my engineering stuff. So for me, it was physically, mentally horrible. But I've been through it. um, I don't regret it because at the end of the day, so I happened to win the TV show,
Mm.
which is very unexpected. It shows how Hong Kong is open, how curious they are in terms of like different cultures, African cultures. So, and it changed my life. I think if I didn't take the opportunity, I would still be an engineer right now.
Wow.
So it was the right timing, I think.
So
And
that moment was your eureka
oh yeah,
moment where you made the whole transition.
few days after I win, I told my boss, "Hey, like I think it's time to have a talk." Maybe I have
Did
another.
they see that coming?
I think so. Yeah, they
Right.
felt it. Because I always talk about dance at work,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then my life changed, and then I did a few more TV shows. I was on Netflix also, very blessed.
Nice. Wow.
Gave TED Talks, worked like talk for the United Nations also. So it's not just about dance; it's really about like making the cultural side of Africa shine throughout the world and through my dance. So yay, I'm very
Wow.
happy.
Wow, yeah. I
Lucky,
mean,
lucky, lucky.
it's amazing how it's also kind of like a reminder for our listeners, like not to let go of their passions and
Yeah,
hobbies, like even if they are having a day job. I mean, it's normal that everyone has a day job, but then don't
yeah.
let your passions die on the side. But then, would you have any advice for
That
people who are currently like having sort of like a corporate career, but then like there's still a little bit of that creative mind that's like burning?
it's very good to still have at the beginning like that job, full-time job to make savings, making sure that you have funds in the future to fund your future artistic project or your transition, in general. But what I would say is to be proactive in terms of like, if, for example, if there's events, go socialize, network with the people in that artistic side that you want to grow in, or yeah, making connections is very important, but also putting your work, your art out there. When I say out there, is on social media, talking about it, having exhibition or whatever you do. It's very important to always push your art to the limits in terms of how creative you become, but also how many people can see it. So for me, it was about that and saying yes to opportunities. Sometimes you have the intuition that, okay, this might not be for me, but sometimes you just gotta be crazy. You just have to say, okay, let me just jump on this journey and see where it takes me. Worst case scenario, it doesn't give me anything. Best case scenario, it will change my life.
Mm.
So you never know. It's like a gamble. So, and yeah, life is so short, so we gotta make it fun.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, since you spoke about the cultural side, I was also wondering, like, was there ever like a moment, like you have always known that you're French, but
Mm.
like, was there ever like a moment where you're like, okay, this is the moment that I should start speaking up about my other cultures?
Um, was there a moment? I think when I started moving to South Africa and I started embracing like the dance there, they actually thought that I was South African there. So I was like, oh, nice, nice feeling to feel like I'm a local,
So you were
accepted.
pretty much like welcomed by everybody.
It was such a
Wow.
nice feeling because back in France, as you mentioned, I
Yeah.
was always like kind of questioned or rejected. But in South Africa, I really felt like, oh my God, I could be one of them. Like they really see me as one of them. Because there they have the black people, the Afrikaans, the British descents and also the colored. So they have a bunch of different ethnicities within one nation, the Rainbow Nation, and it felt so comfortable being there, you know. And I was like, oh wow, this is a sign for me to really embrace like all my heritage, you know. Um, and then I moved here, and I was like, okay, 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 this is what I'm talking about, you know. The Asian side is coming strong. Um, no, I think it was really through my traveling. If I didn't travel, I think I would still have that mentality of, oh, I'm just French and I'm just gonna accept my fate. But no, there's more. But also, you know, through the discussions that you have, through the people that you meet along your journey, I think that really impacts you the way you think. So I would say there's your heritage, like coming from your bloodline, but there's also the influence of your environment, the friends that you have. So that's what we mentioned about like third culture kid. I feel like it's much more than just your ethnicity and the country you live and you were born and raised. It's
Definitely.
also it's a whole global influence on you, I would say, through
Yeah,
your
it's like the
traveling.
places that you've lived, the people that you hang out with.
100%.
Like I mean, somehow you just adopt the way that they communicate, and it's amazing. You know, like identities can just keep on changing, and it just grow
Is growing.
exponentially.
It's very fluid. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. We're just like fishes in the
Yeah.
seas, and we're just exploring and taking what is good for us and growing and shaping ourselves in a way that it's beautiful. We're constantly changing and evolving.
That's lovely. And it really depends on the environment that you're in as well. Like
Yeah.
if the environment is enabling, it really
Exactly.
expands how you see yourself, what's possible for yourself, right?
100%.
Yeah. And I mean, if you get a chance to speak to your younger self, you know, about how to make sense of your own identities, what would be a message that you have for her?
Love your mom, love your dads. uh, Talk to your grandparents, spend time with them. Um, Family is I think one of the most important values. You will never know who you are if you don't know where you're coming from, you know. So I think it's very important to dig and make that go on that journey to really rediscover the roots, the real roots, you know. Um, so that's my message for you, little Anisha.
Oh, that's beautiful. And now it's time for us to move on to the next segment, which is called
Rapid Fires.
It's Rapid Fires time, everyone.
I like this section.
Yes. So, in this segment, I'll be asking my guests bias questions that they've got asked at some points in life. So, Anisha, are you ready for what's coming for you? Yay, let's go. All right. First of all, first question. Ooh, our classic rapid bias question. Where are you really from?
Okay. Usually, so it depends on the person, but usually I say, because I know what they want to say, right? So I just say I'm French, and then if they ask me, but where are you really, really from? I say I'm from Paris. So I just shut down the question. No, because I don't want to. It depends. It depends. If I see the person has good intention, I reveal the whole storyline. You know, if I have time on, because it depends on my time too. You know.
Yeah.
But it really depends on the interaction, on the feeling. Also, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. That's all you have to say. I mean.
Yeah.
And the next one. But you don't look either Asian, French, African.
So what should I look like? You tell me. You tell me right now. Like, what is the? Is there a portrait, like something I should like look like? Like, tell me right now. Like, right?
Yep. And moving on, the next question. How come your French is so good?
Wait, I don't know myself because I was better at math, you know. But no, seriously. Actually, my French has always been really catastrophic. Like I struggle with this language. It's so hard though. Really, did you learn a little bit or?
I did that at school a little bit.
It was hard, right?
I gave it all back.
I understand. I want to give up on too, but I can't give it up because it's my
It's
language.
like there's like feminine, masculine. I'm like,
It's
what?
too much.
It messes with your brain.
No, it's a good brain. I would say exercise. You know, cognitive functions. They help us with maintain that.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Just learn French if you don't want dementia.
Period.
Yeah.
If you don't want Alzheimer, dementia, just go for French right now. I will not teach you anything, but yeah.
Yeah. And next question. This is a bit of an odd question. Are your parents still together?
Yeah, this is one of the weirdest questions that I've ever got. And there's a few people that ask me that.
I wonder where that's coming from.
I'm asking you guys. No, because I guess to me there's two things. Either they think that it must be very challenging for interracial couple to be together, or maybe they think that I was an accident. I don't know. That happens too.
It's horrible to assume someone to be an accident. No.
That can happen to understand. But for me, actually the African and Asian communities have a lot in common. Why? We value family a lot. Our ancestors, we deeply respect them, through ceremonies, through we just really respect the people that give us birth and everything. And then what else? I think in terms of sense of community, we need to feel like we belong and we're helping each other, we're giving to each other. Community is very important. Whereas I feel like in Europe or America, it's a bit more
like individualistic.
Individualistic in a way, right? So for me, being here feels good because I can really tap into that sense of community, whereas in France, it was more about, go get your career, do this, do that. And people don't really take care of their parents when they get older also, back in Paris. I'm talking about the white French people. So being here really makes me feel like, that value is still important and fundamental for us. We take care of our parents when they're sick. We take care of them when they get older. It's normal. They give us so much. We need to give back, So they have so much in common, actually. You have no idea. So I guess that's why my parents are still together.
And we got great food as well. What's in common? We got flavors. We got colors.
We got colors, flavors, spice, and everything. You know what I'm saying? The cultural aspect so important.
And finally, last question. Is your hair real?
Oh my god. No, it's a wig. No, actually that could be a good question because I know Africans or black people we use a lot of wigs. That's for sure. But for me, I love embracing my own hair because first of all, I don't know how to put on a wig. And secondly, I don't know, my mom always makes sure that she helped me to take care of it. So I want to honor her and show her that I'm capable of taking care of my own hair. But it is real, and I'm proud of it. It's very difficult sometimes, especially in the humidity of Hong Kong, But the only thing that I would not tolerate is when they start touching my hair. So that's when the boundary comes.
It's like,
Do I touch your butt? Do I come to you and touch you? So you don't touch me, So, it's common sense, right?
Yeah, physical touch is a big no-no.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if we don't know each other, yo.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you got through all the rapid fire questions. Thank you so much for your responses.
Hey. Oh, you like dancing too? I see.
I mean, I don't have your moves, but I also like a bit of dance.
I see the feeling. That's the most important.
Yeah. It's because of you. You're here. You represent the whole vibe. So I'm also vibing to the vibe.
Oh, thanks for vibing with me.
Finally, for us to conclude the episode, could I ask you to teach our listeners one French phrase?
So I'm currently shooting a series on Instagram where I just come to people and I tell them a French word to say or a French sentence. So I'm gonna give it to you right now. Can you repeat after me?
Gosh, I'm nervous.
You only have one shot. Yeah, that's the game. Okay, ready? Ça passe ou ça casse?
Ça passe ou ça casse?
Oh, okay, you got it. Huh?
Oh, did
Not
I?
bad, huh?
What does that mean?
So it means, is it good or is it bad, or does it pass or that it doesn't pass? Something like that. But I like the little sound of it. Ça passe ou ça casse. There's a lot of SS. It's amazing.
It's cool.
you made it. Like
Yay!
you passed.
Yay.
You passed
I
literally.
made my French teacher proud.
Yeah, A+.
And next up, like this is more like your thing, like because like you work with music a lot, so
Yeah.
naturally I would like to have you give us like one song that you would recommend us to put on the Proudly Asian playlist, which is a common playlist that we invite our listeners and guests to contribute to. So what would be your contribution for our playlist?
There's an artist that I really like. Everybody thinks she's just African American, but she's actually Filipina also. Her name is Saweti. Saweti, if you see me right now, I doubt you're watching, but we never know.
Hey, we can dream big. Maybe she's listening.
Saweti, this is for you. So the song is My Type. So it's a bit of a sassy song, but who doesn't like to be sassy sometimes? But no, I just love how proud she is about her heritage, and she's just gorgeous. She's a beautiful artist entrepreneur, and I really look up to like women like that. I told you that I was looking for role models when I was younger, and dance really helped me to get to know more artists that are also Blasian. So she's one of them, and she inspires me a lot. So yeah.
That's cool. We can deal with a bit of sass every day
Of course.
as we start our day and
As we
throughout
start
the day.
and until the end of the day.
yes. And finally, what does it mean to be proudly Afro-Asian European to you, Anisha?
Wow, what does it mean for me? I guess sharing my culture. I think the more I share, the more I realize that I'm just so proud of it through dance, music. When I talk about it, when I tell people about my country, Comoros, where it is. It's a little island in close to Madagascar. When I talk about the food, just sharing in general, makes me feel like, oh wow. And I don't know. When I see other talents from Vietnam, for example, that do amazing champions of dance in dance battles, I'm just so proud. MT Pop, you're amazing. You're Vietnamese, and you've been winning so many dance battles around the world this year. So I'm so proud of you. And yeah, when I see other people winning and blossoming in their arts, it just makes me feel like, oh my God, they found their own truth, and they're also embracing their roots, through their art. So I just love watching those journeys, it inspires me so much. So that's how I'm proud of my heritage. Yeah.
Amazing. And now you do run a dance school in Hong Kong and potentially equipping more people, kids with like creative tools to express themselves, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about your dance school?
Sure.
Like, can our listeners drop by for a class or something?
Of course, you're welcome. So I have two things going on: the dance academy called the Mixes, and my dance training, my dance crew. So the academy is more for dance beginners. So if you want to learn Afro, you're more welcome to come and learn about the culture and the dance step. If you are more like if you have experience in dance,
Not
and
me. I only have 3 seconds of experience just now.
no, I can see the feeling already. She's a dancer. You can come also to the training, and I will explain you. I'll actually mentor you into transitioning into a professional dancer. So this is the goals of that training, and becoming an even better dancer than what you are right now. So this is the two ways you can connect with us.
Amazing. We're gonna tag your dance academy and also include some of the details in the episode description. So for those who are around Hong Kong or who might be visiting soon, you're welcome to try to book yourself a dance class with Anisha. But well, unfortunately, it has come to the end of the conversation. Thank you so much for dropping by our studio, Anisha.
I will miss you.
Yes, we will miss you too. Please come back.
It was really nice. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you.
That's it for this episode of Proudly Asian. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at proudly.asian for more content. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review on wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in and signing off for now. I'm Isabel Wong.